Hi, today's video is what is system hardening? Well, if you're not sure what a system is, please follow the link in the description. It's one of my first videos that I did, so you need to understand what a system is. But let's assume you do. Well, what is system hardening? And it is about trying to make it more secure, trying to make it more difficult for someone to break in, to compromise that system. And of course, a system, you may be talking about the hardware, you may be talking about the hardware and the software, you may be talking about the larger system where you might have people involved as well. But generally, when you're talking about hardening a system, you're typically talking about a specific piece of hardware and the software on it. So you might be talking about system hardening a phone or a laptop or a desktop or a server or something like that. You generally don't talk about system hardening for larger things than that. And you might hope and you might think that systems come pre-hardened. Well, they don't. People don't necessarily put security in by default. And also, typically when you're hardening a system, you're looking to protect the most vulnerable or the most important systems in your deployment, in your network, whatever, the ones that are most likely to be attacked. And hardening system may make it more difficult to do other things. So it may make usability, for instance, more difficult. And you may be shutting down things that normally you might want to be using. So, for example, system hardening, I remember a long time ago, system hardening a machine which, if we wanted to make it as hard as possible, we had to turn networking off. Well, that wasn't much use because we wanted to use it for email. But the reason that we wanted to be hardening it was because it's being used for employee email and we didn't want people breaking in and doing things like that. But you might look at things like creating a particular kernel version. You might look at turning off certain services or daemons on the system so that there's less opportunity for people to find out more about it. And you would probably use techniques like pen testing to see whether your system hardening has been successful. Anyway, so that's what system hardening is. If you've got questions about this or any other topic to do with cybersecurity, please subscribe to the channel. Drop me a line in a comment and I'll do what I can to answer any questions you have. Thanks.